What's up, everybody? Sev here, bringing you some more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary. Wanted to talk with you about an alternative arena squad I've been running here, and I'm hoping that it can give people some different alternatives as far as what's working well in the meta right now. This squad here, let me pull it up here. This is what the squad looks like. So it's a dual Zeta Emperor Palpatine lead. Got my dual Zeta Vader and General Kenobi, of course, same as before, but instead of my dual Zeta Thrawn and Shore Trooper, I'm running a dual Zeta Darth Nihilus with a Sith Trooper. Of course, love Darth Nihilus, one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars universe, and I loved his release last year with Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper. I think they're phenomenal characters. Of course, I like DN's kit. Annihilate is a great ability. I feel like he's still got some use. With all the foresight, it's a little more challenging, but I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But what I wanted to see specifically, I've had some people ask me if Sith Trooper works at all, but I feel like you needed a third Sith to really kind of get the best use out of Sith Trooper, to get his taunt up. I think Sith Trooper is one of the most underrated tanks in the game. He's a very durable tank. I think in a lot of battles, when an enemy OP Han is attacking my Sith Trooper, he'll crit him for like 3 or 4k. So he doesn't take a lot of damage. He's got incredibly high defense, and he's very durable. And because of how his taunt works, he has taunt almost up, I would say almost 100% of the time. So I'll go ahead and click on him here and take a look at him. You can see mine's gear 12, and the additional pieces, they're very valuable. I just haven't put him on him yet. He needs a multi-tool, and I know he needs armor plating, which are both very good items. I just haven't really done it yet, and I'm holding on to my guild event currency right now. But take a look at his kit. His basic here, he deals physical damage, which is not a lot. His physical damage is actually kind of high, and he takes a lot of cuffs. And just right off the bat, let me tell you, gearing this guy sucks. It is probably one of the worst tunes to gear, maybe top 10, top 15 hardest tunes to gear. But I absolutely believe he is worth it if you're going to run Sith, because he's incredibly tanky, and you'll see that here. But he has a good chance to inflict defense down, which is good. And then if the target is debuffed, it ignores their protection, which is also good. Kind of digs into their health a little bit. We'll take a look here at his second ability. This is a special. It's an AoE ability. Again, it does physical damage, and it has a chance to inflict offense down, which is very useful, as I'm sure you're aware. He gains protection up, which is awesome, and again, it ignores protection. So it has worked really well for me in the past when running Sith Assassin, because she can ignore protection as well. With Savage, because my Savage is Zated. Yeah, that's been really effective for me in the past, but it's a nice thing. It makes teams heal and kind of procs heals, things like that. I wouldn't say it's super important, but the offense down is the best part of this ability. But let's look at his taunt real quick. So he has plus 100% defense. That's what makes him so tanky. And then when a Sith ally uses a special or falls below 50% health, he gains defense up, which is an additional 50% defense. So he already has plus 100%, and then he has another 50% on top of that, which is just incredible. And then if he already had defense up, he gains taunt for 2 turns. And if he had taunt, he gains retribution for 2 turns. So when he starts the battle, he has defense up. So if I use a special ability, obviously my Darth Vader is very fast. As soon as he uses Force Crush, my Sith Trooper has Taunt. And then when Vader uses Culling Blade, my Sith Trooper has Retribution. So this is how he keeps Taunt up for almost the entire battle, and it works really well. And because he's incredibly tanky and has this high defense, he can take a huge beating and just keep on trekking. So, but with Retribution, of course, if he gets attacked while he has taunt up and has retribution, he's ignoring protection. So there are times when he'll take enemies down into the yellow pretty easily. just from countering attacking, which is an awesome thing. And especially if he gets offense up from Palpatine, he does okay damage, and we'll get into that here in a second. Let's look at his mods. You can see, I mean, I've got 3k damage on this guy, which is pretty high for a tank, and it could be higher, you know, if I gave him that multi-tool and the armor plating. But he's very slow. I'm pretty sure his base speed is 98, so he's one of the slowest tunes in the game. But you know, look at his health and protection, incredibly high. You know, of course, Palpatine provides an additional 35% health from his leadership ability, so this is even higher in game. Now, I would say ideally you would want to mod him with defense set, but I don't have very good defense set mods, so I went with health, of course, just to make him tankier, and then the 2-piece potency is just to help the offense down land, and the defense down. And he gets bonus potency from Palpatine lead, so I would say that's not even necessary. In fact, I might even run him with full 6 health set mods if I had good ones, but they just aren't that great. So I went with the protection primary arrow, just trying to really make him beefy. Comes with some bonus protection, defense, and health, which is solid. Here, this one rolled with 200, or I'm sorry, 2k protection and 200 plus health, a little additional health. The speed's negligent. You know, Palpatine lead, if you watch my other video, it's incredibly fast. He doesn't really need speed. Especially if he gets stunned or something, he's not going to be doing a lot of attacking. He does more countering than anything, but really he's just there as a meat shield. So tons of protection there. Same thing here, tons of protection and health. It's really what I was going for. Of course, it's a health set. This one, you know, it's got base defense, which is, here's a pro tip for you. If you're trying to stack defense on a character, you want to use base defense, not defense percentage. So, of course, there are mods that have percentage defense increase. That is good, but plus base defense is better. It will net you more overall defense. So there's a lot of math that's involved in that, and maybe I'll do another video on that. But you know, especially for a tune like this or Old Ben where they have high defense, you want to multiply in their defense and add maybe with a defense set, but then add base defense as a stat on one of these mods. So this one obviously has a ton of health. It's got some base defense. That's great. Again, protection primary, loaded with protection and health, and again, base defense. So it's a great mod for him. And then this one, same thing, protection primary. It's got a ton of bonus health. So really I was just trying to make him as tanky as possible so he can soak up as much damage as possible. So that's him on this team. And then let's go back to Darth Nihilus. So, you know, like I said, he's got both Zetas. I was running Darth Nihilus lead for a couple of months over the summer before Thrawn released. I just was kind of sick of Rex, and you know, Maul was around, and R2, of course Chase was around, and I just wanted to try Sith because I love Sith, and tried it out, and it just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. But whatever, he's got the Zetas. He's gear 12. I haven't put any extra pieces on him yet, but he's a strong character. He's very tanky. He's kind of slow, but I've got a good mod set on him. I'm sure you're familiar with his abilities, but his basic here, Ceaseless Craving. Most important thing is it dispels buffs. So any enemy that's got buffs, if he attacks them and this attack lands, it takes all the buffs away, which is great. And then for every buff that you know, is dispelled, if there's a buff there and it's dispelled, it reduces his Drain Force cooldown, so that's good. Drain Force, the damage is okay, but you know, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this, it increases their cooldowns by 1, which is great. And then for each cooldown reduced, it reduces the cooldown of his Annihilate ability, which of course I'm sure you've seen or are familiar with, but it instantly defeats the enemy. So it takes him out of the fight, and then he gains max health equal to the target's max health. And then they can't be revived, which it's really nice actually versus Night Sisters, with the exception of Zombie. Zombie can still revive, but the others can't, so it's pretty good versus Night Sisters. Of course it can't be evaded, and it starts on an 8-turn cooldown. His unique Zeta is great, Wound in the Force. So at the start of each of his turns, he adds a dot to a random enemy that doesn't have any debuffs. Of course, with Palpatine lead, you want debuffs, so it adds debuffs every time he takes a turn. Also, if all enemies have debuffs, then he'll give it to a random one. So if there was an enemy that had no debuffs, he would give them a dot. But if they all have it, he'll still give a dot. It'll just be random. And then at the start of each enemy turn, he inflicts health down on them. Health down reduces overall health by 25%, which is quite a bit. And it's a debuff again. So he brings more debuffs to the picture, even more than Thrawn. And I think that helps because, again, once debuffs either expire or are cleansed, it speeds up Sith and Empire allies, which is great for this team. So take a quick look at his mods here. You see he's pretty tanky. He's a support tune, but, you know, almost 70k protection. You know, health gets buffed by Palpatine. He does special damage, so that's why his physical damage is so low. He has a slow tune, which is why I have a speed set on him. He has pretty high special damage. If you come down here, so he's 4201. So he does hit pretty hard, especially with offense up. But really, he's there to increase cooldowns, dispel buffs, and then annihilate people. So, of course, got a speed primary arrow, which is pretty standard. Got a good bit of protection on there. I feel like tenacity is a helpful stat for him. You know, if he's not stunned, he can do his job. So that's why I've got you know, some tenacity on these mods, but then also with the two-piece tenacity set. This one here just got some speed. That's the main reason for that one. Same thing with this one, speed, but it's got, you know, some tenacity and protection, which is good. Circle here, same thing, loaded with protection, speed. So those are good things. Protection primary here, it's got a ton of speed, which is awesome. And then here with the triangle, protection triangle, but again, he's got a lot of speed and some extra protection and health, which is a good thing. So he's got pretty solid stats, and he's 225 speed. Initially, when I started testing this team, I thought it better to have Palpatine go first to make sure that he increases cooldowns on as many tunes as possible. And so I slowed him down. I think my Palpatine's 221 or 222. We can look at him real quick. There we go. So he's 221, which is pretty awesome with an offense set. And, you know, it just didn't seem to work as well. So I thought, let me speed him up. Let me have him go before Palpatine. And if nothing else, Darth Nihilus will remove Foresight and allow Palpatine to stun more enemies. So that's what I'm testing right now. It's having some success. It's holding well in defense, and it's winning easily on offense. So we'll get into some battles here to show that. And if you guys saw my other videos, you know I've been running Palpatine with Vader, Thrawn, Shore, Trooper, and then GK. And that team I still think is one of the best defensive teams. But if your shard's anything like mine, I'm just going to assume that it's something like mine, there's a lot more Palpatine teams showing up on my shard. Of course, this guy Keepy here is running the variant that Cubs Fan Han put in. It's an okay team. I don't think it's very good. I think in my other video I said it was trash, and I'll stand by that. You can't run a single tank in this meta. If you run one tank, you're going to be in trouble, because if they can't keep taunt and get either hit with buff immunity or something else, or they get you know, some way to get that taunt removed, your tunes are going to be exposed. So I find that tune, or that setup, to be pretty weak. But take a quick look here. So there's more Rexes popping up, as you can see. And then look at all this Emperor Palpatine that's showing up. More Rex, more Palpatine. Still a lot of JTR. Notice where the JTRs are at. JTRs, they're not holding top 20 on my shard. They're really not. More Palpatines. CLS is pretty much non-existent. They don't really make it up into the top 10. So more CLS. So CLS and JTR, they're at the bottom of the food chain on my shard. And then you have Palpatine and Rex and Night Sisters kind of up top. So you can see there Shiryu, another dark side players. Like me and him are like the only dark side players on my shard. Everybody else is a meta chaser. No offense to you guys that are on my shard if you're watching this video, but you guys typically run meta teams, and that is fine. You do you. Shiryu and I are pretty much the only players on our shard that run whatever team we want. It's typically dark side. We both ran Empire for the longest time, and I know he's run some Night Sisters, but we're the dark side players. We're the originals, so no issues saying that. But he knows I was having success with his team, so I told him to give it a shot, and so he's giving it a shot. But yeah, the shard's turning over to a lot of Palpatine and a lot of Rex, and so I thought with a Dispel on Darth Nihilus basic, and then with Sith Trooper, really tanking well, it just felt like it might provide a little bit more versatility versus my shard, since there are less JTR squads up top. There are some, but there are less. So anyways, I'm going to take this team through some battles, give you an idea of what it feels like and what the AI will do, how it operates on defense, and then I'll do a few more battles on full auto so you can get a feel for how the squad performs. But anyways, if you have any questions, like always, hit me up on Discord. I'm Severance8267, and happy to answer questions. If you enjoyed the vid, enjoyed the commentary, if you love Hans Zimmer and my music, definitely leave a sub or comment below. I do respond to every comment. And if you have any suggestions for teams for me to test out, would love to hear that. I have been getting some questions about Sith Marauder. So I am going to test Sith Marauder. I've been saving gear for a while, so I had no issues taking him up to gear 11 max. I'm going to try him at 3 stars, see what he does. I'm kind of excited about it. I really like his kit. I think he can work well in the meta, especially with the meta shifting to Palpatine leads, especially with him adding potency up and things. So I will be testing him at 3 stars, and then I do bank about 1,000 crystals a day from both arenas, so I'll star him up. I might take him to 5 stars and see how that does. I don't think I'm going to take him all the way to 7, but just know that some Sith Marauder videos will be coming, and some commentary and exposition on his kit and how he performs with the team. I am determined to find a squad that works with this guy on both offense and defense, because I love Sith, and I know there's more Sith coming, and there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be coming, but I really believe this guy can be effective in the meta, especially with his unique, which we'll get into at another time. But anyways, I'm going to get into some battles here, and you can get a feel for how this team performs and what the squad can do. So, and look at these 3 Palpatine teams here. But anyways, all right, let's get into this. So, with Darth Vader being as fast as he is, of course, he's going to open up with Force Crush. So, got some debuffs on GK. Of course, I crit, which is fine. So I'm going to give my whole team turn meter here with Coaling Blade, and that's actually what the AI would do anyways. So hit that. Alright. So here's my Nihilus is going to go. Now he's going to increase cooldowns on every one of these tunes, which is awesome. Palpatine's up. He's going to stun quite a few. Now you would think, oh, General Kenobi's going to cleanse. Well, not after I increase cooldowns. Now the AI again is going to use the AoE, give himself protection off. And you could see, if you watch how many turns this Sith Trooper takes, like how much of a beating he takes, it's incredible. So I'm not sure who the AI would hit here. Obviously General Kenobi has no taunt because he just went. I'm going to guess the AI would hit Palpatine, probably, or Thrawn. But I'm going to go after Palpatine. So, actually, the AI would cleanse. So let's do that. Which sucks, because it feeds them turn meter, but it is what it is. Alright, ability block probably would be on General Kenobi. I mean, look, those hits do nothing. And then we'd probably put shock on General Kenobi. Alright, I'm not sure who Nihilus would attack. I'm sure he would probably try to cleanse the debuff, even though he can't. So I'm going to attack Palpatine, because again, I believe that's what the AI would do. So he got a lot better stun than I did, but it is what it is. You'd see Sith Trooper just taking a beating. Now, got fractured, so no problem, it is what it is. Ability block here. I'm going to just probably guess it go on the Jedi. Alright, now Palpatine would probably spread shock, so we'll do that. It didn't land, unfortunately. He'd probably cleanse debuffs, so let's do that. Oh, it was on Thrawn. Whoops, my bad. I don't know. Man, look at this defensive AI here. This is crazy. Stunning more tunes than me. Alright, he would definitely spread shock, so let's do that. So he got an Annihilate off first, because his stuns are better than mine. Alright, AI would definitely stun, and he would definitely increase cooldowns. Vader would definitely Force Crush, and he would Culling Blade. Probably Palpatine. So he did. Alright, ability block. Don't know who. I'm going to guess Vader. And he would just shock whoever. Alright, ability... I mean, isn't this crazy how many turns Vader takes? I just think this is nuts. Spread shock. And you can see Sith Troopers like the little engine that could. Dude just takes a beating. Ability block. Annihilates up. So, I've noticed on defense, or I mean on the full auto, unfortunately Darth Nihilus will annihilate sometimes the weakest tune. They could have like red health, but it is what it is. Alright, so, and he finished that guy off. So that's what the AI would do on defense, and you can see it really wasn't close. Obviously, their Palpatine got a better stun than me, so it is what it is. He got his Annihilate off first, no problem. On offense, if I were running that manually on offense, you could see that it would have been even more effective, because I would have killed Palpatine before he was able to stun. But as I got some feedback from my last video, you guys really liked getting a demonstration of what the AI would do. So I wanted to kind of demonstrate that. So that's what that would do. But you can see it's a very strong squad, a lot of speed, more debuffs means, as they expire, more speed for my team, which is awesome. And, what I'll do here is I'll run this on some battles on full auto, so you can get a feel for how it performs against some other meta squads. I can even try this Rex squad here. Unfortunately, Rex is kind of a hard counter to Palpatine, but it is what it is. I'll go ahead and try out some of these teams up top here on my climb, and which is fine because I haven't refreshed it all today and I'm only climbing from 13, so it is what it is. But at least you guys can get a feel for how the team performs. And I would say if I'm gonna lose, it's probably gonna be versus Rex, but I don't mind showing a loss. So I'll go ahead and get into some of the music here, but you can watch this on full auto. Give me your thoughts and feedback on the squad. If you have any questions, again, hit me up on Discord or comment below. And I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day.